Okay, my presentation is on Japanese futons, which is a bed. So a futon or shiki-buton in Japan are traditional beddings able to be folded or rolled and stored away when not in use. They're really only about 3 to 5 inches thick, and they're laid on the floor, typically on a tatami mat. If you want it off the floor, it's usually made out of cotton. So like tatami is what keeps it like airy and bouncy, um, and kind of just like takes care of that so that you don't have like dust mites and mold getting on it. Okay, so there's kind of like a futon etiquette or culture. It should always be folded and put away when they're not in use. And that's kind of what they're made for, is to save space. And like this also, putting them away prevents them from retaining moisture, which will cause mold and mildew to kind of grow under it, and also from like getting mites and stuff. If you stay at someone's house as a guest, they'll set up the futon for you, but in the morning you should fold it yourself and put it either in a corner if you don't know where it goes, or just in the closet where they keep their futons. Some people will put it in the corner so that if the guests or like the owners want to like clean it up or beat it or however. On nice sunny days, like in this picture, it's kind of common to see futons hanging over balconies or out of windows to allow them to air any moisture collected over the night. Like I read something about like what keeps it kind of bouncy is there's air particles in there. And if you don't air that out, then the air particles will go away and it'll be way more uncomfortable. And then there's a special type of stick called a tatami stick, I believe it's called. Um, and that'll get rid of dust and such when you beat it with that. And there's also like specific dryers for their futons for the rainy season. Futons are typically stored in a specific closet of the house to keep them out of the way if they're not in use. Sometimes they can be used as sofas or just something comfortable to lean on, but it's most common to just put them away during the day so you have more space. So there's certain pros of sleeping on futons that have made it kind of a trend, especially in America. So it's said to be good for your back because it naturally aligns your spine, unlike Western beds, which curve your spine over time because it's conforming to you, not the other way around. It can strengthen your lower back muscles. It frees up a lot of space, which allows people to do more with their homes. You can take them with you when you're traveling and going places. They're easy to clean. You don't have to like throw them through a washing machine or whatever. They kind of just naturally stay clean if you take care of them. And they're cheaper than regular mattresses. So some of the cons is they take a lot more to maintain and take care of. So like I said, you have to put it away every day, but you also have to like air it out at least weekly to keep it from from like retaining moisture or getting mold. And you need to like flip them over to kind of keep that going so that they're, clean. Some people just don't like them, and they're not good if you have like serious back or joint problems because then it might do more harm to you than good. And you do have to have storage space. So if you don't, then it's kind of, it's not good for you because you don't have any place to put it. So there's kind of like an interesting history behind it. So they become one of the most popular types of bedding in the world, but they originally were only found in Japan and other parts of Asia. Most homes in Japan were usually one room, so they had to find many options that had more than one purpose. For a long time, tatami mats and futons were the only thing that kept people from sleeping on the floor, but it also offered a multi-purpose furniture option that freed up space that people could utilize in other ways. It also wasn't uncommon for women who were getting married to buy dowries of futons to establish like new households and things like that to show that they had like stuff for a new house because it was seen as like a household necessity. They weren't really introduced to Western civilization until after World War II, when GIs returning from Japan talked about a comfortable mattress on the floor that actually made their backs feel better than beds that were back in America. So as the time it took to get from Japan and back got shorter and more people began exploring the world, the idea of futons kind of came to America. And the American furniture industry began making beds similar to what Japan and the rest of Asia had been using for centuries, so it became really popular throughout the world. So this is like some of like words that are used in relation to this. So like the shiki-buton, that's pretty much futon itself. It's a bed laid on the ground or it's a tatami mat for people to sleep on. It comes with many designs, shapes, fabrics, things like that. Kake-buton is just another word for blanket. You sleep under it. There's designs and thickness that depend on preference, season, and temperature. The makara is a pillow traditionally used with futons. Typically, a makara is not like your typical like American pillow. It's filled with beans or buckwheat, And it's not recommended for people just starting to use futons since it's too hard for people from America typically. A mofu is a blanket. Tatami mat is traditional mat flooring or simply a mat to place your futon on top of. So like some people have it just all throughout their whole house in Japan, but some people only have like something small like what I showed on the screen just for the futon itself to lay on. It keeps it away from the floor and makes the mattress a bit more breathable. It can also offer like additional thickness to sleep on. And then the futon tataki, so I misworded that earlier, that's what it is. It's a special bamboo stick to like beat the futon to get rid of dust. And then these are my sources. Thanks for watching.